They're gonna get your ass on a whole lot of other shit.
You lying ass bitch.
For years, China has been hailed as an economic powerhouse, with its rapid growth and development attracting the attention of the global community. However, in recent years, there have been growing concerns about the accuracy of China's economic statistics, with some experts claiming that the country is deliberately manipulating its data in order to present a more favorable image to the world. In this script, we will delve into the debate surrounding China's economic statistics, examining the evidence both for and against the claim that China is lying about its economic performance. We will also consider the potential motivations behind such deception, and the potential consequences of such actions. Body. Part 1, Evidence of Manipulation. One of the main pieces of evidence cited by those who claim that China is lying about its economic statistics is the fact that the country's GDP growth rates have consistently been higher than those of other countries. For example, in 2020, China's GDP growth was 4.9%, compared to just 2.4% for the United States. Some experts have argued that this level of growth is simply not possible, given the economic challenges facing China, such as declining exports and increasing debt levels. Another piece of evidence is the discrepancy between different measures of economic activity. For example, China's official statistics show that the country's industrial production has been steadily increasing, but other indicators, such as electricity consumption and rail cargo volumes, have been declining. This suggests that China's official statistics may be overstating the extent of the country's economic growth. Part 2, Possible Motivations. If it is true that China is lying about its economic statistics, what could be the motivation behind such deception? One possible explanation is that the Chinese government is trying to maintain social stability by presenting a positive economic picture. In a country where the government is the main source of employment and economic opportunity, maintaining strong economic growth is crucial to preventing social unrest. Another possible motivation is that the Chinese government is trying to attract foreign investment by presenting a more favorable image of the country's economic performance. By presenting itself as a rapidly growing market with strong potential for investment, China may be able to attract more foreign capital, which could help to fuel its economic growth. Part 3, Potential Consequences. If it is true that China is lying about its economic statistics, the consequences could be significant. For one thing, it could lead to a lack of trust in the Chinese government, both within the country and internationally. This could make it more difficult for China to attract foreign investment, as investors may be hesitant to put their money into a country with a reputation for deception. In addition, the manipulation of economic statistics could also have negative consequences for China's own citizens. If the government is overstating the extent of the country's economic growth, it may be less inclined to address economic challenges and problems, such as rising inequality or declining exports. This could lead to further economic difficulties for the country in the long run. Conclusion? In conclusion, the debate surrounding China's economic statistics is a complex one, and it is difficult to definitively say whether or not the country is lying about its economic performance. While there is some evidence to suggest that China may be manipulating its data, it is also important to consider the potential motivations behind such deception, and the potential consequences of such actions. Ultimately, the truth may never be fully known, but it is crucial that China is transparent and honest about its economic performance in order to maintain trust and stability both within the country and internationally. China's economy has experienced tremendous growth in the past few decades, transforming it into a global economic powerhouse. However, there are several factors that will shape China's economic future in the coming years. One key factor that will impact China's economy is its aging population. As the country's population continues to age, it will likely lead to a decline in the labor force and a slowdown in economic growth. This will put pressure on the government to reform its social security system, and encourage more people to remain in the workforce longer. Another factor that will shape China's economic future is its reliance on exports. China has become a major player in the global economy through its exports of manufactured goods. However, as other countries develop their own manufacturing capabilities and the global demand for goods shifts, China will need to diversify its economic base and focus more on domestic consumption. The rise of technology and automation will also have a significant impact on China's economy. As technology advances, there will be a greater demand for skilled workers who can work with advanced technologies. This will require China to invest in education and training to ensure its workforce is prepared for the future. China's economic success has also led to increased environmental challenges. As the country's economic growth continues, it will need to address issues such as air pollution, water pollution, and overconsumption of natural resources. This will require significant investment in clean technologies and sustainable practices, which could impact China's economic growth in the long term. Finally, China's economic future will also be impacted by global economic trends and geopolitical tensions. As China continues to assert itself as a global leader, it will need to navigate complex relationships with other countries and address any potential trade disputes or economic sanctions. Overall, China's economic future is uncertain and will be influenced by a combination of internal and external factors. While the country has made impressive progress in recent years, it will need to adapt and evolve to continue its economic growth in the future. China's economy has grown exponentially over the past few decades, and is now considered to be one of the most powerful in the world. The country's gross domestic product, GDP, has more than tripled since 2003, reaching over $14 trillion in 2019. This impressive growth has made China the second largest economy in the world, behind only the United States. One of the main drivers of China's economic growth has been its manufacturing sector, which has become a global powerhouse. The country is now the world's largest exporter of goods, accounting for nearly 20% of global exports in 2019. China's cheap labor and vast supply chain have attracted many multinational companies to set up factories in the country, leading to a significant increase in foreign direct investment, FDI. Another factor contributing to China's economic strength is its large and rapidly growing consumer market. As the country's middle class has expanded, so too has its purchasing power. This has led to a surge in domestic consumption, with the country's retail sales reaching over $6 trillion in 2019. China's economic success has also been fueled by its increasing openness to global trade and investment. The country has signed numerous free trade agreements with other nations and has become a member of the World Trade Organization, WTO. This has helped to boost its export-driven growth and has made it a key player in the global economy. However, China's economic rise has not been without challenges. The country's rapid industrialization has led to environmental degradation and pollution, which have had negative impacts on public health. There are also concerns about the country's rising levels of debt, with the government, corporations, and households all borrowing heavily in recent years. Despite these challenges, there is no denying the impressive economic progress that China has made over the past few decades. Its GDP has grown at an annual average rate of over 10% since the 1980s, and it is now a major global economic player. As the country continues to reform and open up to the rest of the world, it is likely that its economic power will continue to grow.